Only 0.9% of our viewers have subscribed to the channel, while a whopping 99.1% of you haven't. If you enjoy our updates and insights, please support us by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Let's dive into today's top story. The Australian government, led by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, is reportedly considering significant changes to negative gearing and capital gains tax policies, a move that has sparked widespread debate. Negative gearing allows property investors to claim tax deductions when their rental expenses exceed income, effectively lowering taxable income. Such changes could have profound implications for millions of homeowners and investors across Australia. The controversy began with a report from 9 newspapers, revealing that the Albanese government had requested modelling from public service departments on potential changes to negative gearing and capital gains tax regulations. Speaking at a press conference in Tasmania, Prime Minister Albanese avoided directly confirming or denying any planned reforms. He stated, "I've seen those reports, and what we do is value the public service. From time to time, they examine policy ideas. That's because we encourage a public service full of ideas." Despite being pressed on whether his government had asked Treasury to model such changes, Albanese replied, "Treasury examines a range of proposals all the time." Treasurer Jim Chalmers later corroborated this, saying it is normal for the Treasury to evaluate policy options being speculated on in public discourse. While no firm decision has been announced, a senior Labor source confirmed that negative gearing changes are under consideration. However, the government could choose not to proceed with the proposed reforms ahead of the next federal election, which is due by May 2025. Labor has faced criticism over the potential changes, with former Labor leader Bill Shorten's 2019 election loss still a painful reminder of how such reforms can polarize voters. At the time, Shorten's plan to abolish negative gearing was seen as a contributing factor in his defeat to Scott Morrison. Anthony Albanese's comments have been cautious but ambiguous. In a recent interview, he did not rule out the possibility of changes, stating only, "Being cautious doesn't mean ruling something out." An anonymous Labor MP noted that reforms would align with party values, addressing concerns that negative gearing primarily benefits baby boomers at the expense of younger Australians struggling to enter the housing market. Opposition leaders have seized the opportunity to criticise Labor's approach. Simon Birmingham, leader of the opposition in the Senate, accused Labor of being inconsistent and deceptive, stating, "They are saying one thing but preparing for another." Meanwhile, Jane Hume, opposition finance spokesperson, argued that lying about policy considerations undermines public trust. However, Hume refrained from categorically ruling out similar changes under a coalition government, stating, "We'll rule out anything that reduces supply or pushes up rents." The Greens, a potential ally in the event of a minority Labor government, have advocated for abolishing negative gearing entirely, increasing speculation about future reforms. Adding fuel to the debate, Anthony Albanese recently purchased a $4.3 million luxury property in Copacabana, New South Wales. The 4-bedroom home, featuring cathedral ceilings, expansive ocean views, and a tropical garden, has drawn criticism from within Labor ranks and the broader public. This purchase comes at a time when the government is focusing on housing affordability, having launched a $10 billion housing fund aimed at constructing 1.2 million homes by 2030. Critics argue that the Prime Minister's property acquisition undermines Labor's commitment to addressing the housing crisis. An unnamed Labor MP told the Sydney Morning Herald, "I can't think of a greater act of self-sabotage." 4 Labor MPs contesting Greens held seats. This will make campaigning harder. Australia's housing market faces immense challenges, with rising interest rates, escalating rents, and limited supply. The government's efforts to assist lower-income Australians have stalled in Parliament, while property investors continue to benefit from generous tax policies. Max Chandler-Mather, the Greens housing spokesperson, highlighted this disparity, stating, "Labor and the Liberals have created a system where investors can buy multi-million-dollar homes while millions of Australians struggle to afford rent or buy their first home." Albanese defended his purchase, citing his upbringing in public housing and his commitment to helping Australians secure homes. He acknowledged his financial privilege but emphasised his desire to assist those in need. With the next federal election looming, Labor faces a tough decision on whether to proceed with potentially divisive reforms to negative gearing and capital gains tax. While policy evaluations are routine for the Treasury, the government's reluctance to clarify its position has fueled public and political speculation. The debate underscores broader concerns about fairness and equity in Australia's housing market, pitting investors against first-time buyers and exacerbating generational divides. That's all for today's update. If you found this analysis helpful, please subscribe to Aussie Pulse and hit the notification bell to stay informed about Australia's top news stories. Let us know your thoughts on these potential housing policy changes in the comments below. See you next time.